I have your first and last name, please?
First name is Ali, A-L-I. Last name is going to be...
And your date of birth, please? And the phone number? Is it a cell phone or a home phone?
Cell phone.
And the zip code you're calling from? Alright, what is the federal violation you're reporting today?
Just calling on the Moscow, Idaho case, and I pressed that menu option, so I presumed there would be an agent that knew the case, but nonetheless, I just noticed on Wayback Machine for that particular case, because the University of Idaho is so close, I was looking at Wayback Machine, which you probably know takes snapshots of websites at dates of time. And on that date when the crime occurred, idaho.edu, it's an educational website, it's obviously a college, it goes down or shows a park domain at 6:32 a.m., which is only 2 hours after the crime, and it's sort of odd if you know technology. And anything going back to that domain or subdomain, let's say a surveillance camera or a security system, if that website was parked or down, anything communicating over DNS would not be able to communicate with it. And that's just why I found it interesting and figured I'd pass it along.
Okay, so you found photos on this Wayback Machine?
No, the Wayback Machine, you can go to it and type in idaho.edu, right? And you can go back to dates and time. So this archives the internet, the system. And on the date...
basically it takes snapshots off the cameras on the campus?
No, it takes snapshots of the University of Idaho's main website. So their website, right? But oftentimes in IT, if you have, let's say CNN, right, .com or FBI.com, an administrator we redirect traffic like a surveillance camera back to cameras.fbi.gov as an example. They'll use subdomains. So my point is that if the website was down, anything that then communicated with IT systems could potentially also not communicate. And it's just interesting because if you look at Wayback Machine, anyone can do it, you yourself or anyone looking at the tip, you can go back on any date. And that's definitely an anomaly. And to have an anomaly at 6:30 a.m. When you guys are saying the murder occurred at 4 a.m., when they're 2 minutes from the university, is odd. I'll say when we look for anomalies in IT, that's a weird one. So I'm just passing it along.
So the website was down at the same time is what you're saying?
That's correct. And so it was up at 11:30 p.m. the night before, and Wayback Machine shows it down at 6:32 a.m. So we know that somewhere in between, from a technical standpoint, at the very least, that domain shows it was parked at 6:32 a.m. That is bizarre because if you look at it, I looked at it from all last night and I said, look, this could be just website traffic because people found out about the murder, but people didn't find out until noon. This website was down at 6. Now it could be maintenance, it could be something. I don't know. That's not my job. I'm just passing along what I found.
Okay.
So.
Well, I certainly have everything documented. If anybody has any questions, they certainly can reach out to you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If you have any additional information, you can certainly reach back out and provide that information.
I will.
Other than that, okay.
And came across this, and downtime during a timeline of a murder is interesting. But what's more interesting to me at this point is that the police are saying, look, we need the public to tell us about this white Elantra. And I've said on previous podcasts or these streams that universities have a lot of technology, and we're going to see that. You're going to see just how much technology this university has. And why are police asking us for this white Elantra when a university is sitting right there with lots and lots of surveillance camera? Now, there may be technical reasons. There may be humans that did this. I don't really care what the reason is. I care about the impact, right? And the impact to me is that if this is true, that it potentially could have technical issues for a lot of things. A lot of systems rely on DNS working properly, a website working properly. And what Wayback is showing is that it wasn't working properly at 11:38 p.m. right before the murder occurred. Now, me and Peter West were going back and forth, and you all have seen Peter West here before. We spoke on other cases, and he's pretty smart, smarter than me technically. And I tried to throw every theory I could at this, and really at the end of the day, we landed at the same spot: is that a human changed this, and the consequences of this change means that anything communicating back at the university would not be able to be delivered. Think of it this way. Think of it like a phone book. I go to look up John Smith. That's the only thing I have, because for humans, it's easy to remember John Smith. I don't know what telephone number he has, so I have to open a phone book and look for what phone number John Smith has. DNS works much the same way. If I open that phone book and there's just no John Smith, I have nowhere to go. Same applies for any surveillance cameras on that university that were then sending surveillance footage back to their domain. If that's happening, that happens oftentimes in technical environments and infrastructures like this. And that's the problem. And when you have an anomaly like that on a large website that should have resiliency, even if they were doing maintenance at that time, I thought it would be just as equally important to report to the FBI as a weird glove found almost 2 weeks later. So